Hey guys, are you a new home hobbyist welder and you're wondering what gear you really need to get? Stay tuned because I'm going to cover everything that you need to get started cheaply. So if you're a regular watcher of my channel, you know that my number one goal is to help the beginner welder or the welder that used to do it in their teens in shop school, but now they're in their 60s and they're trying to fix their grandkids' go-kart frame when it breaks. Or, if you're doing it for art projects, things around the house, things around the farm, anything like that. Um, my goal is to help you guys out. Um, so what we're going to talk about today is we need things to cut with, we need things to mark with, we need basic hand tools, we need protection, we need a couple other things. And I'm going to try my best to leave links in the description for this video so that you can purchase most of these from Amazon or from your local welding supply, or don't forget Harbor Freight. My shop is built off of Harbor Freight. There's nothing wrong with that. But we got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Okay, one of the first things that we need is we need protection. We need protection for our face, protection for our eyes. Um, do you need a $600 3M speed glass helmet? No, you don't. Um, you can get one of these at Harbor Freight for, I don't know what, 40 bucks, something like that. Do you need the wide vision panoramic view? Again, no, you don't. But it would be wise for you to get the auto darkening lens. Um, they're very nice. The helmet that I use on a daily basis is just this Weld sugar scoop style helmet with the flip up lens. And I did buy the Tafaway auto darkening lens, and I've got a video about this lens on my channel. I bought this helmet, I think, for about 60 bucks. And the auto darkening lens from Tafaway, again, was about 60 bucks. The helmet that stays on my truck daily is this one, Black Beauty. There's nothing special about this whatsoever. Doesn't have a fancy headgear. It does have a flip up. And I do, again, have the Tafaway lens in here. It's a 2x4 lens. You're going to have to replace these front covers on this, especially if you're doing flux core, because the smoke gets on here, makes it nasty, and you try to wipe it off. All you do is scratch it. But you can get replacement 2x4 lenses. Man, you could get, I think I recently bought 100 pack of them for $16. Um, you might not be able to get replacement lenses for some of the helmets that you get at Harbor Freight. Just while you're shopping for helmets, look for replacement external covers. But yeah, Miller makes a really good helmet. They're about $300 or $400. They're super nice. But do you need it to get started, or do you need it to fix a patio chair? No, you don't. Um, this helmet was $13 on Amazon, and I would buy them again. And again, this lives in my truck. It stays in there. It never leaves. And here in the shop, I use this one. That's all you need. Okay, so the next item that we need are gloves. You can Buy some of these at Harbor Freight. Um, the white ones are really, really thin, and they're mainly used for TIG welding. The black ones are a little bit thicker. They're made for MIG welding. They make some that are brown, and they look like you're fixing to pull something off your barbecue grill. Um, those are for stick welding because they're very well insulated. And any of these you can get for about 20 bucks. My favorite gloves are these Weld coat gloves. You can see they're well used, but I buy these at my local welding supply for about 30 bucks. They are the same. They're made by the same company that makes those fancy $60 ones that you see online, and they are the same gloves. But I buy mine at the local welding supply for about 30 bucks. If you have to, go to Lowe's, get you some of these kind. You know, these you can usually get a 3-pack of these for 10 bucks. I call them um, movers gloves, but whatever you got to do, do not get the kind that have the little rubber things over the fingers and they look soft and they only come to here. You want them to come, far up on your wrist. But those other thin ones, that looks like they breathe and all that kind of stuff. The problem with those is if the spark lands on it, it's going to melt and it's going to melt through and it's going to go to your fingers and it's going to burn your hands. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need some protective clothing. These are welder shirts that I get from Key Apparel. I'm not being sponsored by them or anything like that, but I do have a couple of videos on there about these shirts. They are reminiscent of the old Carhartt shirts that you can't get anymore. They got pearl snaps. What I like about the snaps is if you are on fire, you can just rip this thing off really fast and you're out of it. And then you can throw it on the ground, stomp on it. But do not wear a lightweight t-shirt. Don't wear, one of those polyester track suits. those offer no protection. They may offer a little bit of radiation protection so you don't get sunburns on your arms, but if a spark hits it, it's going through it with no problem whatsoever, and it will go straight to your skin, and that don't feel good. So, but so they do make some FR shirts, flame resistant shirts. Do you need those? No. Um, would I like for you to have them? Yes. But these little cotton shirts, this is very, very heavy, thick cotton. And you can tell that this one's seen its days, but it's got burn holes, little burn holes all through it. It's got scratches, it's got cuts. Um, but the only thing that you don't see are big giant, burn holes where it caught on fire. The FR shirts are good. They're expensive. Do you need them? No, you don't. Just a nice, thick cotton work shirt. And while I'm talking about these, you can take these to the dry cleaners. Tell them that you want welder starch or extra heavy starch. What the starch does when a spark hits it, it just bounces right off. And it also keeps the dirt out. So when you do take it back to the dry cleaners for cleaning, it comes out really, really clean. Uh, you can't tell from this shirt, but I haven't taken this back to get cleaned yet. But when they come back, they look brand new, even if they're looking like this. Okay, so if you need something to cut with, do you need that $200 DeWalt or Makita angle grinder? No, you don't. Go to Harbor Freight, get you a Bauer 4.5-inch angle grinder. Um, you can sometimes catch them on sale for about $29. I like the rat tail handle. You know, it's got the long handle, makes it really, really nice. So you don't have to hold it around this big giant center of the, you can just hold it here at the end, and that's called the rat tail. And you can put a cutoff wheel on it. You can put a flap disc on it. You can put a grinding rock on it, anything like that. These are, again, you can catch these on sale at Harbor Freight for about $29, maybe $39. It's made by Bauer. I would stay away from the Warrior unless you're going to use it just one time. Then go ahead and get one. Um, but if you're going to use it 2 or 3 times and you think you might use it down the road some more, spend a little bit more and get one of these. I have about 6 of them, and I think my youngest one is probably 4 years old. This one is probably 6 years old. I've got a couple more that I've had for probably 10 years. But nothing wrong with Harbor Freight whatsoever. So, do you really need that $200 DeWalt? No, you don't. Okay, next you're going to need some things to mark with. Um, I have an assortment here. These are little fine point Sharpie pens from Harbor Freight. You can get a 2-pack of them for about $1, and they're really nice. I like them. I have a paint pen. All right, these work really nice. Problem with these is it makes a really fat line. It's easy to see, but if you have a really fat line, do you cut on this side of it? Do you cut on this side of it? Do you cut right down the middle? You know, the more precise that you can mark with, the better your cuts are going to be, and the more accurate your alignment's going to be. But paint pens are nice. Um, this is a Markel. I got these in silver. I got them in red, and it's just a mechanical pencil, and it's got the silver streak pencil lead in it. Um, and these are real good for marking steel. And they come in blue, red, silver, I think white, but they're good too. One of my favorite things and is your basic Bic whiteout pen. Shake it up, you know, do it like you would any other kind of magic marker. You kind of squeeze this while you make your line. Um, what's good about that is it's a very small, skinny line, so you know exactly where you're supposed to cut. But if you're using a torch, this stuff will not burn away. Once it's on there, and you have to sand it off, basically. But if you're using a torch, this is the way to go because it won't show up. I mean, it won't burn off and burn away. Um, uh, Soapstone. It comes in round. You can use a holder like this, or you can just get the little sticks. Um, and they also make the flat ones. The flat ones are pretty nice because you got 2 ends that you can sharpen. And you know, you don't need any fancy soapstone sharpener tool or anything like that. Just lean over and rub it on the sidewalk or on your garage floor, you know, whatever you got to do. But soapstone is really cheap, and the flat ones are nice because if you lay it down, it won't roll away. And right here, I've got the silver streak, um, just a wood pencil with the silver streak lead in it, and it's basically the same as this. but a little bit fatter. You can use a regular pencil sharpener with it. You can use your pocket knife, whatever you got to do, chew on it. But I wouldn't do that. If you have to, use a screw. I mean, it has a nice little sharp point. Just drag it across there. Um, there's also a thing, I couldn't find mine, but I have several of the tungsten scribes, and man, those things last forever. It makes a really precise mark, and it's a scribe basically is what it is, and you use that, you will know exactly where you're supposed to cut. But do you need anything fancy? No, you don't. um, I've been known to take a small Phillips screwdriver and grind down the end to a point and use that to mark with, whatever you got to do. Okay, for hand tools, it would be nice to have a nice little socket set. You don't need a 500-piece set, just a small set that's got standard and metric in it, because you're going to want to take apart that bicycle that you're trying to fix or the go-kart that you're trying to fix. Need a set of screwdrivers. Go to Harbor Freight. Again, you can buy this thing. It's in a big package like this. It's all laid out. They're basic screwdrivers. They're not very good, but they're cheap. You can get that whole set. I think it's like 12 screwdrivers in it of all various sizes. You're going to need flathead. You're going to need Phillips. Uh, you might need some Allen wrench sets, but don't spend a bunch of money on that stuff. You've probably already got that in your garage anyway. But do you need a $35 pair of MIG pliers just to cut the end of your wire off? No, you don't. Um, you've probably got some wire snippers in your toolbox already. Break it off with your hand. Use your your toenail clippers if you have to. You can usually find a small little pair of wire cutters at the Dollar General for $1. Or next time you're at the grocery store, go down that hardware aisle where they sell the light bulbs. They're going to have a little pair of pliers or a little pair of wire snips for $1. That's all you need. You don't need this. Look, while you're at Harbor Freight, there's a couple other things you need to get. Some hearing protection would be really nice. If you spend a whole day grinding on something, you're going to wish you had some of these. If you don't get these kind, the cup style, some earplugs. They sell earplugs with a little string in between them. Those work also. You can get a full face mask there. If you're doing some grinding, this keeps stuff from hitting you on the face, going in your eyes, things like that. And don't count on your glasses to always do the job. I've tried that, and there's been many times where a piece will come and hit my cheek and go up under my glasses. You can also get the tinted face shield that I use when I'm using a cutting torch. Or if you've got this style helmet, you can just flip this off, and you got a cover right there, and you got the rest of your face covered up. Either way. Okay, so you're certainly going to need something to measure with. Your basic tape measure. I like these kind because they stay out until you hit the button. They make some that have magnets on the end. You would think that would be handy for welding because you can just stick it on there and pull it out. But what happens is that magnet will fill up with little metal filings and become useless. You're going to need squares. I got a bunch of different size squares, again, from Harbor Freight. One of these roofing squares is really nice to have. Levels. I've got this size. I got a torpedo level that's magnetic that will stick on a metal post. I've got long 6-foot levels. I've got 4-foot levels. Um, I've got I got levels coming out of my ears. I got one of these little things you turn on, and you can put it on an angle. It'll tell you what the angle is. I've got another one that's about this long that opens up like a protractor. That'll tell you what the angle is. That's really helpful for me when I'm doing handrails. That one and this one. But do you need all these levels? No. Um, one this size will, I mean, it's either level or it's not. You know, whether you're level 6 feet long or 10 feet long or 4 feet long or 1 foot long, it's still just a glass vial with a bubble. This is all you need. Do you need the 25-foot snap-on tape measure? No, you don't. Bauer, Warrior, anything like that. Harbor Freight sells them all day long. Do you need a 25-foot, 30-foot, 50-foot? No, you don't. You could probably get by with a 10-foot tape measure. You're gonna need clamps. That's a fact of life. If you think you have enough clamps, go buy some more. You can never have enough clamps. And they don't have to be expensive. This is my favorite clamp. This is called an F clamp. I buy a 4-pack of these on Amazon for about 40 bucks. So they're about $10 each. Do you need that big giant burger one that's $60 each? No, you don't. This is all you need. You know, I do a lot with these things. They got these big heavy C clamps, the Pittsburghs at Harbor Freight. You get them there, it's a Pittsburgh's lifetime warranty. It breaks, or if this strips or this little thing on the end falls off, take it back, get a new one. They make vice grip style clamps. They got big ones, they got little ones, they got ones that go out to here, you know, whatever. But you don't, if you're just trying to fix one project or you're just trying to do a couple little things in your backyard, you know, you've probably already got some clamps. Just use those. You know, don't spend a bunch of money on clamps unless you're going to be doing this a lot. And if you do, buy a bunch of clamps. And everybody will tell you that if you don't have enough clamps, you need to go get some more. And when you think that you have enough, go buy some more. Every time you go into Harbor Freight, buy one clamp. That's it. You know, $6, $4, $8. When you're already going there to spend $40 or $50, buy one clamp. Next week, when you go back, buy another clamp. When they have their sale, when you buy one item and you get a free 5-gallon bucket or your choice of these other free items, buy a clamp. Clamps, you need them. Okay, if you've watched my videos about the titanium Easy Flux 125, you see that every time I'm done welding, I take this right here, again, a Bauer angle grinder from Harbor Freight, and I have a knotted wheel wire brush on there, and I get in there and I clean up the weld. This is far superior than using this, you know, and just rubbing it on it. Do you need this? No, you can use this. I'd rather use this than this. It's going to do a much better job, a lot faster, but this will do the job just as easy. Don't just weld it and then walk away. Clean it up, because a lot of times that slag is going to cover up your weld, and you don't know if you made a good weld or not. And then sometimes you'll look at it after you're done, and you're thinking to yourself, God, that weld looks horrible. Grab this, clean it up. You're going to find that that weld looks a lot better than you think it does. And if you need to get into some tight spots, you can get one of these kind, a little cup wire brush. And again, it goes on the angle grinder so that you can use that. So as you can see, tools, you could spend a lot of money on tools, or you can get by with just the bare necessities that you have so that you can get the project done. Maybe it's only a one-off project. Maybe you're fixing that go-kart frame for your grandkid, or maybe you're doing, some other kind of stuff. But buy the tools that you think that you're going. No, I wouldn't even buy them for what you think you're going to need. Buy them as you need them. That way you don't spend a bunch of money on tools that are going to sit on your bench and never get used. Tools are nice. You can spend a lot of money on tools. Tools will help you get into some problems and also get you out of some problems. And the more variety of tools that you have, the better chances of the tools helping you get in or out of that project or that problem a lot more effectively. Don't use tools in a way that they're not supposed to be used. Don't use a big flathead screwdriver for a crowbar. That thing will bend a little bit and then it'll just snap. And if you need a crowbar, buy a crowbar. Again, go to Harbor Freight. They sell crowbars pretty cheaply every single day. Um, so that's basically it. Oh no, one last thing. Do you really need a Ford when a Chevy can do? Yeah, you do. Buy the Ford, stay away from the Chevys. I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is Jason. I hope this helped you out a little bit. Y'all get out there and have some fun. Have a great weekend.